Hey, hello, how are you? I hope that you're doing well. Thank you so much for being here and hanging out with me for a little bit. My name is Autumn Ashley, and today I want to talk about the first week of NaNoWriMo, if I'm doing NaNoWriMo, and what's going on. I'm just gonna jump right out the gate and say that I'm not doing NaNoWriMo in the traditional way. So what I am going to be working on for NaNoWriMo, and pretty much for the rest of the year too, is working on my fantasy project, Project Burning Roses. Right now, I am in the middle of Act 2, but more toward the second half of Act 2. I really want to focus on that story and getting this story completed. I don't necessarily have a end goal for November. I just know that by the end of the year, I do want to finish this project. I haven't really figured out pacing wise how much I want to get done week to week. Since writing had taken a back seat for a little while and I'm getting back into the flow of writing, I figured that we're gonna go with the flow and we're just going to try and get back into it, not with like a set fixed schedule. Whatever we get done, but I do have in mind that the end goal in less than 2 months, I can have this project completely finished. I think it's possible. I definitely can do it. I just recently passed 50,000 words in the entire project, which is awesome. I'm thinking that the project is going to be sitting between like 75 and 80,000 words. We are a little more than halfway through with the project. I think we can do it. It's grind time. That's what I'm going to be working on for November and for December. That is, I guess, technically what makes me a nano rebel, is I'm not playing by their rules. Now, what I want to talk about is a weekly recap of week 1 of the first week of NaNoWriMo, the first week in November. I want to talk about the number of days that I wrote, about how long I did write, how those writing sessions went, and where I think it's setting me up for the rest of the story. I have a plan to make these videos weekly where I'm just sitting down and I am giving a recap of the entire week, but I am vlogging, so hopefully I'm gonna have a video within the first week or 2 of December where it's documenting my entire journey through November instead of making weekly vlogs. Tuesday to Saturday, since today is Saturday, I am going to count today in this and then we'll restart it on Sunday. So this week I wrote for 2 days. I wrote on the 3rd, which was Thursday, and I wrote on the 4th, which was Friday. Going into this month, going into everything, I started chapter 17. So it was a great place to start in my story. I was starting a new chapter. Between those 2 days, I ended up starting chapter 17 and finishing that chapter. And then I started chapter 18. I'm almost finished with that chapter. I had left myself a little note at the end of it just to remind myself what I wanted to do, where I wanted to go once I got back into writing. I have not written anything today. I said that I was going to include today, but I might add this to next week just in case I write today. We'll keep track of all the days that I have been writing. On the 3rd, I did a 45-minute writing sprint, and then on the 4th, I actually had a live stream, and we cranked out those words. We did 3 30-minute sprints and then 1 15-minute sprint. I subtracted 5 minutes from each of those long sprints because in one of them I had gotten up and refilled my water and like stretched my legs. In the other 2 long sprints, I did something else for like 5 minutes. So I didn't feel right counting the full 30 minutes of like the writing sprints that we did online. So I only did 25 minutes that I counted for each of those. So far with these 2 chapters, or the chapter and a half that I've written, it feels really great. Going into November and going into writing these chapters after taking off time, it was really intimidating and I was nervous about going into it, to be totally honest. Like, I had been on the grind writing very consistently from, I think it was June and July, and things kind of started happening and it slowed up in August, September, and October. Getting back into writing and trying to find a flow made me nervous, and I feel like it is a normal thing. I felt self-doubt creeping in, being like, oh, well, what if you're not gonna feel the same connection with these characters? What if you're not going to enjoy the world as much as you did when you were writing it originally? But you know, we've got to push past that. I want this story written and I want to tell this story for my characters. I've got to push through all of those creeping thoughts of maybe not today, maybe you're not going to get as much written as you really want to. So I had to push all of that aside and literally put butt in chair and fingers on keyboard, and we just wrote and wrote and wrote. And that was on the 3rd. That was for 45 minutes. That was a great writing session. After that, I had a lot of really strong momentum. Then we had our live stream, which was yesterday, which was on the 4th. We just cranked out those words, and doing those 3 really long writing sprints and then that one short one, that was a great amount of time. Towards the end, I was getting fatigued, but it was probably because it was a little bit later and we had been going really hard for like 2.5 hours. I can understand that, especially when I had not been writing for as much. Going for that amount of time was a struggle, but I don't feel drained. I don't feel burnt out. I mean, I shouldn't. It's only been 2 days worth of like good solid writing. I feel like it set me up really well to try and make sure that I finish this story by the end of the year, because that is really what my big main goal is. So far, I have written 2 days out of the 5 days of NaNoWriMo. I'm feeling pretty great about it. I'm not upset about not participating in the 50,000 words. I could not have handled that. I think I have a good system, a good grasp on the story and where I want it to go. I'm feeling all right with it. I think we're gonna be able to power through. I was happy that the first 2 writing sessions of the first week went as well as they did, because it set me up really great for the rest of the month. So for next week I want to focus on at least writing for 2 days, so to keep up the momentum of writing for 2 days. If I can write for a 3rd day, that would just be great, so I can slowly start to add on another day or go for a little bit longer on the days that I do write. That's what I'm going to try to aim for, is keep the days consistent, so try and write for 2 days, maybe add a 3rd day or add a little bit of time to the days that I do write, so I can keep up the momentum. And I have to work these writing muscles, get them back into the habit of sitting down and writing and thinking about the story and having an end goal of finishing this project. I want to do this again next week and check in with you guys to see how well I did for setting next week's goal. That's going to be it for this video, you guys. It's going to be short and sweet, but remember, at the beginning of December, I'll have hopefully a big writing vlog that will have my entire journey documented. We're going to see how that goes. We're going to see how we all like these weekly updates. Maybe they're going to be weird. Maybe this is going to be super strange and nobody's going to want to do weekly updates, and then I'll just the video at the end. Let me know if you like the idea of doing quick weekly updates. Not so much vlogs. It will just be me sitting here chatting about my story. Also, this can be your weekly check-in too, so let me know how your first week went. If you're going to be setting any goals for next week, if you are a NaNoWriMo, let me know, or if you are participating in Nano, let me know that as well, and let me know how it's going for you so far. And thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, please be sure to give it a thumbs up. And if you're not subscribed to my channel and you want to be part of my writing journey, go ahead and hit that big red subscribe button and the little notification bell next to it so you don't miss another time that I upload. Again, I am Autumn Ashley, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.